Now, we all know mushrooms are really good for us, but they're also a really fantastic substitute for meat. So I'm going to show you my mushroom burritos, and I promise you, you will not miss the meat whatsoever. These are Australian field mushrooms, and they're not a different variety to the button mushroom. They're the same, but they've just had a little bit more time to mature. That means they're even more robust in flavour. So I want to grill these so we get a lovely smoky flavour. I'm also going to make a marinade to baste them. So we'll start with a little olive oil over our mushrooms. And once I've cooked these, I'm going to wrap them up in tortillas to make burritos. I've been preheating a grill. You could also do this on a barbecue. I'm going to flip them over and you'll see the little gills in the centre. They're like sponges, so they do need loads of flavour. So we're going to add some more oil and of course the marinade later on. So straight onto our grill, and they will shrink slightly as they cook. So we want to give them a head start before we start basting them. While they're grilling, for the marinade, coriander. I love coriander root, there's so much flavour in it. So 3 coriander roots, and we'll cut that off, give them a good wash. We'll keep the leaves for later on. Roughly chop the stalks and roots, place that into a food processing bowl, along with some ginger and some garlic. I've minced that. Some classic Mexican spices, some cumin, along with some smoked paprika and some dried oregano. Now I'm going to add some chipotle in adobo sauce. These are chilies that have been smoked and they've cooked in tomato sauce. And what I love about this product is you can get this at all supermarkets. It is fiery, so if you don't want it to be too intense in flavour, just use the sauce around it like I'm doing. So I'll add about 3 or 4 tablespoons of that. If you want it hotter, by all means, add some more chilli. Right, to balance this out, some apple cider vinegar and some agave. You could also use maple syrup. All right, lid on, and we're going to blitz this until it's smooth. All right, that's looking good. Just have a smell. Oh, that's going to be perfect with these mushrooms. So, turning the mushrooms, look at that, nice char marks on the mushrooms. So I like to give them a head start in the pan. If you start marinating these and then cooking them on the grill, it's just going to burn, and then we can start basting it. And then in 2 minutes, I'm going to turn them until it's all caramelised and full of flavour. All right, I've just been turning these and basting them with this delicious smoked chilli sauce, and they are ready. You don't want to overcook mushrooms too much. You want them to hold their integrity, which they are now. So we can take them off the heat, and I'm just going to place them straight onto a chopping board. Let them just cool for a moment while I heat up my tortillas. The last one. Great. So with your tortillas, you don't need to put them in the oven or in the microwave, straight into a dry pan on a medium heat and just warm that through. And while that's happening, we can chop up our mushrooms. You want to slice it into small little pieces. It's going to wrap it up in the tortilla. So roughly chop that. And when I've got friends coming over, this all goes in the middle of the table and everyone can make their own burritos. It's a bit of fun. And I'll just turn over the tortilla, just warm it on the other side. A little avocado, so we'll just cut that in half. Love it. Perfectly ripe avocado. We just need a few slices of that, so we'll cut that straight down the middle and we'll just peel off the skin. This is going to give it a really nice creaminess without adding any sour cream. I'm going to keep this 100% vegan. And some onion. This is just a salad onion, so it's milder in flavour. Just a few slices, so it's paper thin like that. All right, so we've got all our bits and bobs ready to go. So let's wrap this burrito. We'll take our tortilla off. Ooh, it's hot. And I like to start with some rice, just some leftover rice. Pop that in the centre. That's just going to fill it up. And it's also a great little bed for our mushrooms. You can see that all the juices are running. We want to keep all that because that's so much flavour there. So lots of mushrooms. and a little onion, just a few rounds, some tomato, just finely diced tomato. Love that pop of colour, and the creaminess of that avocado will just slice. If you like, you could add some cashew butter to this just to give it an extra creaminess, but I don't think it needs it, especially when you've got really ripe avocados. Finally, we need our coriander, a few sprigs of coriander in the centre, and we need to wrap this up into a burrito. So I like to fold in the sides and squish it together, tucking in, squishing and tucking, press down on it, and then you just want to toast it just for a few moments just to seal the base of it. So just give that 5 seconds and we can eat this. So I like to cut this straight down the middle so you can really show off those mushrooms. So we'll cut that in half. Ooh, have a look at that. What meat? You don't need the meat, the mushrooms are the meat. We'll pop that on top of each other onto a plate, and that is a wonderful vegan recipe showing off beautiful mushrooms.